Gavin, thank you very much. Good evening to you. Now, house prices in England, Wales jumped by 1.7% during July. According to the Land Registry, it's the biggest increase for 5 years. The third consecutive monthly price rise means the average property now costs just over £155,000. Well, with more on this, Henry Pryor joins me now, who is a property expert. Henry, good to have you with us. Why the price rise?
Well, I think that we've seen that volumes on which all these prices are predicated, which peaked in this time 2007, just as we were all learning about the Northern Rock, at 5,000 sales a day, fell to a low in January of 1,000 sales every day, and we're now back up to about 2,600. So we've seen that shrinking of supply of new property coming into the market, balanced by very few, relatively speaking, buyers who are able to commit into the housing market, and that's helped to underpin the very few transactions that we've seen recorded by the Land Registry today.
There are a lot of things happening in the housing market. In particular, only this afternoon we've reported from the LSL Property Services saying that the cost of renting has increased. What kind of impact do you think that's having on the housing market at the moment?
Well, we saw a staggering increase in the number of rental properties over the last 12 months, 100% increase in the number of properties coming into the rental sector. Understandably, that had a downward pressure on rents. So we've seen rents in many parts of the country falling by 15 to 20%. That now, that excess has started to stabilise, so we've seen a floor come under rental values, which has helped to stabilise rental falls so that the market can then start to move forward again.
Initially, banks said they were reluctant to lend to first-time buyers because of house price falls. Now, with this increase, what kind of position does that put that sector in at the moment?
Well, hopefully there's perhaps room for a little optimism there. If we can see prices starting to stabilise, it will, of course, encourage lenders to come back into the market. We have to remember that the Council of Mortgage Lenders and the British Banking Association all reporting that lenders, by and large, still require a substantial 25% deposit. Now, with average house prices, you rightly say, reported at £155,000, 25% deposit means that first-time buyers somewhere have got to get hold of around £40,000 out of taxed income before they can actually get access to the housing market.
We continuously have data from lots of different banks, building societies, housing organisations. What makes the Land Registry ones today any different?
Well, I think that what's useful and what's relevant about the Land Registry, of course, is that they're independent. An awful lot of the indices that come out every month come from estate agency groups, from mortgage lenders like the Nationwide and the Halifax. The Nationwide, who reported yesterday, reckoned that in the sample of data that they had seen of mortgages they'd advanced, house prices over the last 12 months were only down about 2.7%. In fact, when you take the Land Registry, who are recording transactions across the whole of England and Wales, they're reporting values down by about 11.7%. So I suspect that theirs is perhaps a little more credible and obviously that much more independent.
Thank you, Henry. Good to have you with us. Henry Pryor there, a property expert.